Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's matchup against Davenport University. Your Cyclones take on the Panthers. Starting for the Davenport Panthers, starting lineup, at left wing, number 28, Trent Benedict. At right wing, Ryder McMillan. At center, number 17, Peter Strobinski. At left defense, number 2, Tabor Gutschik. And at right defense, number 14, Bryan Holt. Starting for your Cyclones at left wing, number 24, Ian Davenport. At center, number 23, Sam Eaton. At right wing, number 22, John Jarecki. At left defense, number 15, Jacob Schultz. At right defense, number 83, Kevin Lynch. And starting in net for your Cyclones tonight, number 35, Harrison Mullen.
A sophomore from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 2, Taylor Mitchell. At right defense, a sophomore from Toronto, Ontario, number 14, Redline Holland. And starting at goal, a freshman from Ada, Michigan, number 38, Kyle Loudon. The Panthers are coached by head coach Bill Sweeney. He is assisted by Jeremy Woodruff, Joe Casino, Edward Thompson, and Chris Steele. Ladies and gentlemen, if you now please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
On the opening faceoff, number 17, Peter Strahovski for the Panthers. And number 23, Sam Eaton for the Cyclones. Cyclones came in on Friday with dominance, defeating the Panthers with an outstanding score of 72, 7-2. Over 52 shots on net for the Cyclones and just over 21 for the Panthers. Opening draw. Eaton wins it through. Gets chipped out. Panthers reconvene it center ice, dump it into the near corner. Schultz on the pickup on the far corner. Gets reversed back to Lynch on the near corner. Up to Jarecki, chips across to find Eaton, has it chipped off of skate, and out to Scholl it comes. Scholl over the blue, dropping it back for Davenport. He gets it stripped for him by number 17. Heading up quickly on the far wall, close to the center. Quick shot right into the chest of Mullen. Bunch of Cyclones and Panthers collect at the goal line. Just under 19:40 left here in the first. Panthers have the first shot on that. Press back on the draw, loses it to the Panthers. Shot from the point gets deflected into the near corner. Dorfman now chips it through. Has it get taken away by the Panthers number 17, and they'll reconvene in their own zone. 94 up the near wall to number 28. Backhand pass across number 23 on the far wall. A quick shot, waffle boarded as it comes up to the blue. Press back, trying to tip it through. Doesn't manage to get out, but Nelson now with it passes it along to Besslin, who now passes it to Dorfman as the Panther defenseman loses an edge. Dorfman winds the shot just wide. Panthers now behind the net, up to the far wall, to the wing. A high chip through, Nelson collects it on the near side at the red line. Dorfman now passing along to Besslin. Besslin in the near corner hammers their defenseman, and the Panthers try rimming it through. Nelson keeps it in, behind the net for Pearson now. Pearson gets shoved to his knees. The Panthers collect in the near corner, going up the wall. Tries chipping it through, gets taken away by Kovarik, who then has it stripped by the Panthers. Press now up the near wall to Pearson. Pearson gets played into the boards as the puck goes behind net. Kovarik now has it in the far corner, has it stripped from him. The Panthers are now at the far wall, going over the red, chipping it through. And Kress now has it in the near corner. Kress trying to go up to Kressback. And Mulcairn has it go through, picked up by the Panther defense. They'll bring it all the way back down into their own zone. They'll play it through to the center for number 15. Hits the red, dumps into the near corner, collected by Kress, over to Schultz. Tries rimming it through, has it get collected again by the Panthers. They'll put it behind the net. And now Mulcairn has it. Up to the far side for Kovarik. Tries pulling it through to his defenseman. Now Kazmarek, a quick shot on net, had it aside. Kazmarek now up to Kress on the point. Kress with a quick shot, waffle boarded in the near corner. Kovarik now throwing it down the wall to Millen. And Millen dishes it right back to Kovarik, and we got a Cyclone power play as the Panther defense trips Kovarik and then shoves him into the back of the net. Kovarik seems to be fine. Your Cyclones will see a 2-minute power play, 17:10 left in the first period, 2 shots aside each. As we saw in yesterday's game, this game got pretty chippy towards the beginning of the second period. I would assume the same is going to happen today. Kress back on the draw. Cyclones, his wingers are Dorfman and Besslin. At the point, you got Pearson and Nelson. Number 16 goes to the box for tripping, 2 minutes. Kress back wins the draw. Nelson now with it on the near point. Down to Besslin, over to Pearson. Pearson a quick shot just wide, and it'll bounce right over Besslin's stick. Get cleared all the way back down to the Cyclone zone. Nelson now with it, going up the center of the ice. Using Pearson as a shield, dropping it to Kressback. Pearson now with it at the blue line, dropping it down to Kressback once more on the near wall. Pearson now walking the line, going back to Kressback, over to Nelson, back up to Pearson. Pearson a shot. Had it aside. Panthers collect off the wall, kept in by Pearson. Pearson now to Nelson on the near wall. Back to Pearson at center. Pearson, a missed stick handle, might have been helpful, but it chipped away through by the Panthers. And another quick shot. Mullen the save. 1:09 left in your Cyclone power play. 16:19 left in the first period. Cyclones have 3 shots to the Panthers' 3 shots. Mulcairn on the draw for the Cyclones. Mulcairn wins it to Kress on the wall. Now to Larson behind the net. Larson still with it behind the net as he bounces it off the net back to himself when 26 came to chase. Kress leaves it for Kovarik. Kovarik now entering the zone on the far wall. Still has it up the wall to Larson, over to Kress. Kress looking for a shot, has it roll off his stick. Davenport now with it to Mulcairn. Now back to Larson at the point. Over to Kress once more. Kress back to Larson. Larson, a shot just high and wide. Another quick shot from Kress at the goal line, and it hits the corner and bounces out. Larson will recollect for the Cyclones, tries throwing it through, taken away by Davenport. Now Mulcairn has it on the near wall. Mulcairn hitting his own blue across to Kovarik. Has it bounce over his stick, the Panthers recollect, and they'll throw it all the way back down. 15:24 left in the first, and Kress now has that as blue. Larson now holding on to it. 5 seconds left on the power play. So Mulcairn goes all the way down, icing the call. 15:12 left in the first period. Just about 4 shots happened during the Cyclone power play thus far. None of them successful. Still tied 0-0. 2 seconds left on the Cyclone power play. And Panthers will be back at full strength, which they are now. Panthers now behind the goal line trying to find a flying in man from the box, number 28. Quick shot from the slot, smothered by Moen. 15:03 left in the first period. The Cyclones have 4 shots to the Panthers 2. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones, 17 for the Panthers. Panthers win it back to number 12. A quick shot off the wall. Another glove save by Moen. Shaves about 3 seconds off. We're right back at 15 minutes left in the first. Eaton in 17, still on the draw here. Eaton wins it back to Franny. Franny now behind his net, looking to the winger, which is Pekana. Pekana now passing along to Jarecki, was behind him. The Panthers reflect at their blue, and they'll pivot backward as the Cyclones keep up a lot of pressure here. They'll throw it up the wall. Now Franny has it at the red. He'll throw in a soft dump right on net. Blocker to side. Pass from the Panthers, tipped along here. 17 now has it. Get it to 14. 14 looking across to 12. Couldn't find the puck in time. Now Pekana has it at the slot. Tipping it through to Jarecki, just under his stick. Goes all the way back down. The Panthers will play it across. Number 14 has it on the far wall now. As he gets erased by Jarecki, Bessel now to chase behind the net. Panthers looking up the wall to 91, now to 87. 87 gets erased by Nelson as he crosses the line. Nelson still with the puck on the near side, getting chipped through by Dorfman. Dorfman now to Besson. Loses it on his backhand, but posts up with it. Reverse hit, trying to find Dorfman in front of the net. Gets picked off by 94. Dorfman still with it in the far corner. Dorfman now behind the net, leaving it for Besson. Besson trying to go across the crush back in front of the net. Couldn't do so. The Panthers recollecting to gain ice. They'll be headed up. Now 87 with a quick shot on Moen, patted aside. Puck behind the net. Lost in the feet. Now helped out by Fanenstein. And a penalty upcoming to the Cyclones. Looks like it's going to be elbowing or interference on Ben Fanenstein. Fanenstein's in the box for 2 minutes. Panthers will see the power play here at 13:25. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 6-4. Face off to the right-hand side of Moen. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones, number 15 for the Panthers. Puck drops, whistle blows, we'll have to redo it. Number 8 jumped the gun from the edge of the circle on the near wall. Pearson wins it through, tips it out by the Panthers. They'll put it in the near corner, collected by Schultz, who will rim it all the way back down into Panther territory, where Lodi can play it behind the net. Panthers reconvene on the near side, passing it up the boards to number 8. Down the near boards, stopping back, going back down towards the slot. Quick shot, sticked away by Millens. In the far corner, the Panthers have it. Now over to the near side defenseman, back to the center of the defense. A shot from just underneath the circle gets tipped high and over Millen. A backhand clearing attempt by Pearson goes up and over the glass into the netting. We'll have a stoppage of play at 12:42. Cyclones are still on the penalty kill for another minute and 18 seconds. Just about 40 seconds erased off that penalty time so far. Pearson in 17 still on the draw. Pearson wins it back to Kress off the glass, ricochets out, all the way down to the far corner in the Panther zone, played by Loden. Now behind the net. 77 collects, dishes to 12 on the far wall, who hinges back to 77. 77 now with it, drops it to 91 at the point, now looking to 12, back to 91. Down to 77. Trying to force it across through the slot, gets chipped out by Iowa State. 91 to recollect at the top of his circles. 91 now circling behind his net, looking over across the 12, chipping it through to 17. Gets chipped back through by Davenport. Kovarik on the chase on 77. Kovarik now with it behind the net, pops out to 14 on Davenport, and he'll reconvey for the Panthers. 77 now, walking to center ice, dropping it back to 14. 14 now getting the red, now the blue. Trying to pull a shot through, gets sticked away by Lynchy, and a penalty upcoming. Holding the call, unsure who's going to the box here. Looks like the Panthers are going to the box. Number 14, Bryan Pullet, for holding. 10 seconds left for 4-on-4 action. 11:34 left in the first period. Shots are still in favor of the Panthers, 7-5. Then your Cyclones will go back on the power play. Pearson, Mulcairn, Larson, and Nelson out there for the Cyclones right now. As Pearson throws a quick shot off the face-off just wide. And the Panthers recollect on the near boards. Nelson now with it. Looking over to Larson. Larson getting the blue, turning back with it, gets bodied off the puck. As the Panthers clear. Cyclones full strength there now on the power play. As Nelson takes the puck behind his own net. Leaves it back for Beslin. Beslin now with it. Going over to center ice. Still with the puck, hits the blue on his backhand, tries throwing one across to Pearson, can't find the puck, and it gets chipped through by the Panthers. Almost a spectacular look by the Cyclones from the slot. Nelson to recollect behind his net, waiting for his men to get back. Dorfman swings at center. Nelson passing along to Pearson, Pearson on the far wall. Trying to post up with it, has it lost in the corner. Press back, trying to find Dorfman at the point, couldn't keep the line. Dorfman and Nelson now play catch. Back to Beslin at the blue. The Panthers try and chip it through, recollected by Beslin. Beslin looking back to Dorfman, who chips it inside for Kreshback, just out of his reach. The Panthers try throwing it up the wall, kept in by Dorfman, but they recollect and throw it all the way back down. Cyclones still have 40 seconds left on the power play. Kovarik picks it up and turns up ice. Hits center, avoids a couple men at the blue, dangles through, offsides the call. 10:06 left here in the first period, 30 seconds left on the Cyclone power play. Mulcairn, Kovarik, Davenport, Vanenstein, and Kress out there for your Cyclones right now. Mulcairn against number 8 wins it back to Kress. Now to Vanenstein, back to Kress. Kovarik collects. Gets turned behind his net, leaves it for Vanenstein. Has Davenport pick it up back to Pfannenstein on the far wall. Pfannenstein looking over to Kress off the wall, recollect. Drops it back for Kovarik. Kovarik getting taken out by a hip check. Puck slides towards the net. Kress still with it, finding Kovarik behind the net. To Mulcair. Pfannenstein, a shot from the point. Sticked aside by Loden. And the Panthers are now full strength. Pfannenstein collects the puck at the blue. High stick the call on the Cyclones. Face off going to be to the left of Moen. 9:25 here left in the first period. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 6-5. Mulcair on the draw against the Panthers, number 17. Mulcair wins it back. Kress to collect in the far corner. Gets chipped up the wall. Kovarik now tries chipping it through. Has help from Mulcair over the blue. And then Panthers put it back in. Now collected in the far corner by Davenport, who posts up behind the net, trying to find Kovarik on the far wall. Kovarik walks behind his net now, trying to look for Pfannenstein. Has it sticked away by the Panthers. A quick shot in front, covered by Moen. That might be the best look of the game so far. Just under 9 minutes left to go in the first. Panthers are still have more shots than the Cyclones. Still tied 0-0. Kazmierczak on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 15. Puck drops. The Panthers win it back. 77 to collect at the point. A quick shot, smothered by Moen once more. Shaved off only 3 seconds. 8:56 left in the first period. Shots are still in favor of the Panthers, 8-5. Kazmierczak wins that one through to Larson. Larson now wheeling behind his net. Up the near wall, tries to cut through. He does. Leaves it on the wall for Millen to chip through. The Panthers get there first. They chip it back. Schultz now takes control. Up to Millens, chips it high off the glass. Down to Kazmierczak. Throwing it in Pakana's feet, couldn't collect. Now Larson with it. Tries throwing a pass through, has it wobble off his stick. Pakana still to collect. Millens on the near wall now has the puck. Into the near corner. Millens. Throwing it behind the net for Pakana, has hit bodied away from him. Now on the far wall, Millens in 77. Try turning it up. 77 throws it up the wall blindly, and Schultz collects. And the puck rolls towards center. Nelson the chip back through, across. As Pakana was looking for Nelson, and the Panthers collapse. Now Pakana in his own slot, looking for Nelson on the wall. Has it sticked aside by the Panthers. 17 over to 14. 14 a quick shot off the shin pad of Pakana into the far corner. Collected behind the net now by Kazmierczak, throwing it up the wall to Millens, just out of his reach. The Panthers have it on the point, a quick shot from the center point. And the Panthers still have it. Applying a lot of pressure here in the first period. The Panthers are looking across. They'll put it in the near corner. 24 has it now. Up to 2 at the point. 2 looking back down to 28. Back to 2. Across to 14. A quick shot. Another save by Moen. He's been perfect thus far. Facing only 9 shots. 7:25 left in the first period. Back on the draw for the Cyclones against Panthers number 24. Panthers will bend it back, 18 with a shot off the near point. Tipped high and wide, collected by Franny on the far wall. Tries chipping it through. It wobbles off of his stick. Helped out by Beslin. Beslin now throwing it to Pfannenstein on the near point. Collected by Dorfman. He'll throw it ahead for Kreckback, who now chipped it through to Beslin in the near corner. Beslin finding Dorfman. A quick shot gets tipped just wide on the glove side of Loden. Franny, another quick shot. Stick aside, smothered by Loden. Face off to his right. .653 left in the first period here. 9-6, the shots in favor of the Panthers. Press back on the draw for the Cyclones, number 24 for the Panthers. Plays it through. Dorfman on the pickup on the far corner. It gets chipped through by the Panthers behind the net. Now on the near corner, tipping up to Franny. Franny, a quick shot. Glove down by Loden. Rush back and number 24 once more on the faceoff on the near side this time. He'll win it back to Franny. Looking for a shot, pass it down to Bessa, and another quick shot. And he'll have it blocked, stick down, but it will be reconvened by the Panthers, now collected by Fanenstein over to Franny. Now to Besson on the near wall. He'll throw it into the near corner where he might get some help from Dorfman as the puck gets tipped to the head over by Cressback, and Besson tried pulling the trigger and couldn't find it. A quick shot once more from the slot by Besson, couldn't find it. And the puck now is at center by the Panthers, collected by Fanenstein. Now to Franny to Dorfman on the near wall. Tried shipping it through the defenseman, doesn't work. Panthers recollect on the near wall, left for Kovarik, throws it in on the near corner. Loden plays it behind his neck to his defenseman, 77, who throws it back to the near side, number 51 on the wall. Collected by Kress, another quick shot tipped aside. And the Panthers will play catch with it behind their net. And they'll throw it up the near wall. Pearson has it now. Now collected by Kovarik. Tries slinging a shot towards the front of the net. Gets tipped to the far corner. Nelson now. Over to Kress. Kress, a quick shot. Pearson tips it just wide. Now Mulcairn gets the puck. There's a reverse hit. Now collected by Nelson at the point. Has it blocked right back to him. Another shot high. Kress with it on the near wall now. Getting shoved down to the corner. Tries pulling it through. Leaves it for Mulcairn. Now Pearson at the point. Looking for a shot. Patted aside. Just wide. Pass in front to Kovarik. Goes out. Panthers throw it out of play. 4:50 left in the first period. Shot still in favor of the Panthers. 9-7. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones. Number 15 for the Panthers. Eaton wins the draw back for Davenport, who chips it into the far corner. Panthers play it out on the far wall. 81 collects. Kept in by Davenport, replayed by the Panthers. Now at the near wall, number 2. Back to number 14 into center in his own zone. He'll hit center ice, pass it along to number 12. Nelson now with it, trying to go to Davenport on the wall. Quick shot by the Panther defenseman. It's tipped just wide. Eaton to collect and throw back behind the net for Nelson. Nelson up the wall to Davenport, gets helped out by Eaton. Davenport defenseman steps in, and the puck is recollected by Jarecki now, throwing the puck to Davenport on the far wall, chipping it through. Panthers recollect at center. Number 2 now, finding number 28, gets collected by Nelson. Nelson up the far wall, just get it out of the zone. It's a 4-man change for the Cyclones. Panthers collect on the near wall, up to number 28. Gets chipped through by Dorfman as Cressback collects. Walking through the slot, quick shot off the pad. That comes off the mooring stoppage of play. 3:42 left in the first period. Shots are still in favor of the Panthers, 10-8. Face off to the right of Loden. Cressback on the draw against the Panthers, number 7. Cressback wins it through to Dorfman, who tries throwing a quick shot from the wall. And it gets tipped through. Vesselin, a quick shot from the point. Tipped just high and wide by Cressback. Dorfman trying to throw it down. Panthers collect. Now Larson with it. Up to Cressback. Now Lynch has it. Lynch throwing it into the near corner. Weird bounce off the stanchion. Almost Gets deflected on net, but it goes just behind. Larson now with it, has the puck, a rolling puck, chipped through by Beslin. Panthers collect in their own zone. Number 4 has it, now walking his own blue, turning back, looking across to 16. 16 now with it. Up the far wall, gets tipped through. Now Larson has it on the far wall in his own zone. Larson chipping it through. Trying to find Dorfman, he does, chips it by. It's a foot race for Beslin. Can't get there in time, it's collected by the Panthers, and he'll turn up the near wall, putting it off the glass. Kept in just outside by Franny as he gets pushed to the ground. Panthers now with it. In their own zone, looking up to the far wall, just outside the Cyclone zone. Pearson gets off the bench, who's able to break that up just in time. Penalty upcoming to Pearson as Mulcairn steps into 15. And 15 cross-checks Mulcairn back. Pearson's going to the box for interference. It looks like. Cyclones go shorthanded once more. 2:19 left here in the first period. Shots in favor of the Panthers. 10-7. 10-8. Franny, Schultz, Kovarik, and Mulcairn out there for the Cyclones on this penalty kill. Mulcairn on the draw against the Panthers, number 17. Mulcairn wins it back to Franny. Franny tries shoving it along to Schultz, and he'll just eat it on the wall. Pearson goes to the box for hooking. And the Panthers have it now on the near wall. Walking down towards the goal line, number 51 tries shoving in front, doesn't get by. 77 collects at the point. Slaps out from number 12, just goes high and wide on the blocker's side of Moen. Ref loses sight of the puck. 1:31 left in the second power play for the Panthers. 1:50 left in the first period. Davenport now on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 81. Referee talking to Coach Wang. Causes a short delay in the game right now. Face-up upcoming on the left-hand side of Moen. Davenport still against number 81. Puck drops. Cyclones with it back to Larson off the near wall. Kept in by the Panther defense. Now over to number 2. Another quick shot tip. Just short of the net. Larson recollects, throws it up the near wall. Millens can't get there in time. But a bouncing puck comes to the slot. And now Nelson will take care of business and go all the way back down. Where Loden can now play the puck. Leaves it for his defense. 1:02 left on the penalty for the Cyclones. Panthers now up the far wall. Over the zone, looking back to their defense. Couldn't get there in time. It's out of the zone once more. Looking back to the far wall. Too many men to call on Panthers. We'll have some 4-on-4 action here towards the end of the first period. 1:07 left here. 49 seconds left on Pearson's penalty for hooking. Number 12 goes to the box. Ryder McMillan or Davenport. Too many men to call. Face off to the left of Loden. Fresh back on the draw for the Cyclones. Panthers win it back. They'll throw it behind the net. Beslin the chase. Beslin now trying to turn on the corner. And has it pickpocketed. And Freshback loses the puck to the Panthers now. Panthers go the other way, over the line. Posting up, number 17 holds. Quick shot through, doesn't get through. 7-7 recollects the point. 7-7, another quick shot off Beslin's stick, up and out of play. 45 seconds left here in the first period. 26 seconds left on Pearson's penalty, and then the Cyclones will be on another power play. 10-8, still the shot totals in favor of the Panthers. Creshback wins the draw, walks through, leaves it for Beslin. Beslin now with it. Up the far wall, going back to the near side for Creshback. Creshback and Nelson, and Beslin across. Beslin puts it back in the far corner for Creshback. Panthers start tipping it through. They hold control in their zone. 30 seconds left in the first. They'll play it back. Pearson's penalty expires as a flip on Moen gets handled off to Nelson. Cyclones are on the power play, just under 20 seconds left. Now Mulcairn, a quick shot from the point, 9.8 seconds, it's smothered by Loden. Face off to the left of Loden. Just under 10 seconds, 0-0 the score. Mulcairn, Cover, Dorfman, Nelson, and Vanenstein out there for your Cyclones. Mulcairn tries winning the puck back to Colbert. It goes down the wall. The Panthers play it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It gets beaten out in the corner as the period expires. And it looks like we'll have two players go to the box for the start of the second period. We'll see what happens. See if we can see any time get put on the board here before we go to the first intermission. Looks like we won't find out till the start of the second. I'll introduce those penalties once they get put on the board. Welcome back into the second period. Still 0-0 at the Patterson Ice Center here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Face off at center ice. Pressback wins the draw back to Fantasy. Fantasy now up the near wall. Fantasy now dumps it into the near corner, chased down by the Panthers. Pressback now into the far corner with it. Ships it up to the point, which is Nelson. Nelson now walking the line. A quick shot off the crossbar, up and out of play. Best look thus far for the Cyclones. 19:42 left in the second period, 0-0 the score. Panthers have a penalty on the clock, just 35 seconds remaining in that. And then Dorfman also in the box, a minute 40 left in his penalty. For roughing. 19:36 now left in the second. Crashback still on the draw for the Cyclones. Wins it back to Fanenstein at the near point. Walking the line, throws it down to the near corner for Crashback just out of his reach. 17 reaching Bales for the Panthers. He'll throw it up and Crashback now with it. Looking back towards Fanenstein, couldn't get a stick on it till center ice. Now regrouping at his own blue line. Looking to the far side for Crashback, tipping it through to Beslin. Beslin now up the far side, just holding at the blue line, throwing it down into the far corner where it can be chased out by Crashback. Panthers now waiting for time to expire on their penalty. They're back at full strength as they enter the blue. Panthers on the power play. Cyclones on the penalty kill. Panthers now with it in the near corner. Nelson collects behind the net, reversing it. Nobody there. Gets collected by the Panthers 17. Now up the near wall, looking across towards 15 at the slot, just out of his reach. But he'll try and pull a shot off from the goal line through to 17. Now 14 back to 17 on the near wall. Gets thrown off the glass by the Cyclones, kept in by 14. A quick shot, blocked aside by Nelson, who rims it at the far wall, kept in by the Panthers' defense. Throwing it back down the far wall to number 81. Now at the goal line to 15 behind the net. Now up to 14 on the near point, back over to 2. 2, a quick slap shot, tip, aside. Nelson left it on the far corner, trying to throw it out, kept in by the Panther defense. Another shot, tip, just high. And 14 collects at the near boards. Now up to 2. From the center, Moen smothered it. Gets hacked at after whistle. McCarron chases him down, but the refs are quick to break it up. Moen has a face-off to his right. Just 3 seconds remaining on the Dorfman penalty. 18:02 left here in the second period. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones, number 24 for the Panthers. Eaton wins it back. A quick clear by Kress before time expires. Loden out behind his net to play the puck. Getting pressured by Dorfman. Throwing it to the far corner was Loden. Now picked up by Eaton. Eaton to Dorfman. They're playing along the wall, and the Panthers chip it through. Schultz to collect at the near red, and he'll dump it in, where it can be chased down to the far corner by Davenport. Panthers chip it out to their man. It goes off his shin pad back down into the far corner. 77 now with it behind his net, trying to go up to the near wall to number 8. Number 8 now has it. Number 6 now chips it in. And 17, Kress, throws it to Millens on the far wall, has it stripped from him. A quick shot from the goal line towards the net, tipped aside, was that puck as Moen sprawls to cover that. 17:09 left here in the second. A little bit of extracurriculars starting to happen here. Intensity starts to pick up. Tempers flare. Face off to the left of Moen. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 23. Pearson wins it back to Kress. Kress passing it across from Mulcair, and he gets leveled by the Panther defense that steps up. Now Schultz rimming it to Kovarik, and he's raced along the wall. 4 keeps it in. Offsides the call. Not sure how that happened. From our angle, it looked like it was kept in. 16:55 left here in the second period. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 15-12. Pearson and Turner on the draw. Pearson wins it back to Schultz. Schultz now back to Pearson. Pearson over the line, chips it through into the near corner. Pearson leveling his man into the corner. Pearson now walks away with the puck, leaves it for Mulcair, going across to Kress at the point, couldn't put a handle on it, gets shipped back out to Kress, and we got a penalty upcoming to the Cyclones. Looks like Michael Mulcair is going to the box. And we'll have another ref meeting. Maybe it won't take as long as yesterday's ref meeting where I was asking for Jeopardy music. Schultz and Turner waiting for the referees to talk to them. 2 Cyclones in the box right now. Kress and Mulcair. Going to be a 5-on-3 for the Panthers for the next 2 minutes. 16:24 left here in the second period. Face-off's going to be to the right of Harrison Moen. Veslin, Larson, and Nelson out there for your Cyclones on this penalty kill. 5-on-3. Veslin wins it back for Larson. Has a lot of pressure. He's getting pressured by 3 guys. Larson still able to keep it behind the net somehow, but the Panthers finally reconvey, and Larson then picks it off them once more. Now number 12 at the point for the Panthers. Walking down to the circle. A quick shot off the crossbar, and it's cleared out by Nelson. Mulcair in for roughing, Kress for interference as the puck gets rimmed in by the Panthers, bodied up against the wall. Larson, and then the Panthers now behind the net with it. Number 17, walking to the far corner, now up to the point for 77. 77, walking the line, going back to 17 at the circle. A quick shot, blocked aside by Nelson. Saucer pass attempt by 17 to 81, couldn't get through. Veslin was in the way. 77 now with a shot, blocked by Veslin, and he'll clear out once more. 15-11, 40 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Cyclones. Loden now passes it up to 17 for the Panthers. Back across for 28 in the slot. Gets pushed aside by Pearson. Tries finding a shot through, tipped aside. Gloved by Moen. Larson and 17 are going at it. 14:56 minutes left here in the second, just over 30 seconds left. On the 5-on-3 power play, that will go back to full strength hockey, just in 32 seconds. Face off to the right of Moen. Pearson, Fanenstein, and Schultz out there for your Cyclones. Pearson on the draw against number 15. Number 15 wins it back to 2 at the point. 2 now walking the line over to 14. Walking down, finding back to 14, back to 2. A quick shot by 14, and a sprawling save by Moen, who gets cleared back to the far corner. Now up to the far point, and 2 with it. Now to 14 at the dot, trying to put a shot tip through to Bauer for the Panthers. Couldn't go, goes back to number 2 at the top. They do from the same play, and 15 puts one behind Moen. 6 seconds remaining in the power play. Panthers are on top 1-0. 14:30 left in the second period. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 19-12. Sorry, folks, for the technical difficulties. Our camera seems to be locked in to, I think it's auto zoom, and apparently it wants us to be really zoomed in on tonight's action. So if you see the camera shaking and us trying to get a better angle for you, watch the play. Kazmierczak on the draw as the Cyclones put one deep. Panthers played up the near wall. Fanenstein will collect at his own hash mark. Play it behind the net for Schultz, who will rim it back around to Kovarik on the near wall, tipping it through to Kazmierczak. On the near wall, gets erased by number 4, and Loden plays the puck on the far wall, kept in by Fanenstein. Fanenstein now back down in the near corner. And a weird bounce off the Zamdor. It goes right to Mulcairn, and he is getting chased down on the wall. Puck comes out, penalty upcoming to the Panthers. Cyclones will see the power play. 13:49 left here in the second period. Panthers on top 1-0. Number 4, Austin Malone, goes to the box for the Panthers. 2-minute minor. Cyclones will see the power play. Kazmierczak wins the draw to Pearson. Pearson couldn't keep it in as the Panthers chip out. Nelson recollects at his hash marks, and he'll turn up the ice. Nelson now with it, hitting his own blue line over to Pearson. Pearson back to Nelson. Nelson now with it. Trying to go to Beslin, gets tipped aside into the near corner. The Panthers try rimming one around, and they're just going to play catch with it behind their net. Walking to the goal line, throwing one all the way back down where Moen can play it behind his net. Leave it for Nelson. Nelson now with it behind his net, getting slight pressure from the Panthers, and he'll go up the ice to Creshback. Creshback now to Pearson. Pearson on the near wall gets the blue. Drops it back. Recollects, and now Dorfman has it. Over to Beslin at the dot on the far side. Now up to Nelson, back to Pearson at the point. Pearson. A quick shot just over the blocker into the far corner, now collected by Nelson at the point once more, and back to Pearson. Pearson walking down to the circle, back to Nelson. Nelson looking for a quick shot. He shoots, he scores! And then he ties this game up 1-1. 12:42 left here in the second period. Shots are still in favor of the Panthers, 19-13. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones, forces one through to their point. They'll play catch with it now in their zone. Back up to the near wall for number 12, throws one through. Franny will collect in the far corner for the Cyclones, throwing it back to Larson, back to Franny, now in the far corner, up on the far wall to Jarecki, tries throwing one through to Eaton, now collected by Davenport over the center right. Jarecki now with it, gets the line over in the near corner. He'll throw it down to Davenport in the far corner. Davenport chipping it through, where Jarecki hopefully comes out on top. Panthers come out on the near side with it. 12 on the near wall, throwing it across the 14 on the far wall. 14 hits the red, dumps it into the far corner. Franny to chase behind his net now, looking up the wall to Davenport. Quick shot by the Panthers. Doesn't get through. Franny picks it off. And now Davenport with it at the hash marks in his own zone, in the slot. Trying to chip it out, he does. Panthers recollect. Now at their goal line, Loden plays it up on the near wall, number 81. Kept in by Larson, put into the far corner. Now Millens on the far wall. Vakana now with it, and trying to find Kazmierczak in front. Gets tipped aside. Franny at the far point keeps it in. A quick little battle. Vakana throws it to the near corner. Panthers get there first. They'll throw it back to the far wall. And they'll chip out. Number 81 to collect at center ice. It's a one-on-one. 81 against Larson. Gets thrown to the net. Net moves around. No whistle to call. Moen lost his stick as the Panthers collect it at the blue line and throw it back into the near corner. Kazmierczak throwing it through. Now chipped all the way back out to the Panther slot. Collected by 77. Now up the near wall to 81. Tries chipping it through. Larson to collect once more. Larson turning back with it up the wall to Beslin. Beslin at his own blue line. Looking to Kreshback. Kreshback trying to find Dorfman. Panthers clear once more to Larson. Larson up the far wall to Dorfman. Dorfman now chipping it through to Kreshback. Panthers pick that off. Franny now has it at the blue line. Chipping it in. Still off sides. 77 collects behind the net. Just under 10:20 left here in the second period. Tied 1-1. 77 up to 13. 23 on the near wall. Gets bodied off the puck by Dorfman. And Dorfman looks across, but it gets picked off by the Panthers. Now Kreshback with it on the far wall. Trying to find Dorfman once more. But now it goes into the near corner. 81 plays it behind his net to 77. As Beslin bodies up his man in front and almost causes a turnover right in the slot. 9:50 left in the second period now. Still tied 1-1. Shots are still in favor of the Panthers, 19-14. Panthers now breaking up the near wall to 26, and he'll throw it right to Kress at the blue line. Back up to Dorfman. It's a quick 2-on-1. Dorfman to Pearson. Pearson a quick shot high and wide. Panthers now recollect the puck as center right, 24. Back to 51. A quick shot, and it's going to be gloved down by Moen. Face off to his left upcoming. Just 9:21 remaining in the second period. 2014 shots still are in favor of the Panthers. 1-1 the score. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 24. Puck drops. Panthers win it back to number 2. A quick shot from the point. Stick high and wide of Moen. Face off upcoming once more. 9:17. Shaved only a couple seconds off that time. Pearson, 24, win at it once more. Nelson now has it in the near corner over to Fanenstein. Fanenstein up the far wall trying to find Pearson in the center. Has it tipped aside. Panthers regroup and throw it back in. Back to Nelson's side. Now up to Kovarik on the near wall. Trying to go across to Mulcairn. He does. Gets chipped back to Fanenstein. He'll chip it back to Mulcairn and chip through. Kovarik now picks up the puck on the near side. A quick shot. Headed aside behind the net by Loden. Fanenstein recollects the puck at his own blue. Over to Nelson. Nelson mishandles a pass, going back to Fanenstein. And Fanenstein blocks the pass from the Panthers to go in front of the net. Now the Panthers with it, at the top of the circle. Shot on the far side, stick aside. 28 still with it, back up to 4 from the point. A quick shot. Moen couldn't see that one, but he blocked it, and it's in the near corner now. Pearson and Nelson working the puck out. Now Kovarik on the near wall. This game's getting quite aggressive. Now Kovarik with a breakaway over the blue. Getting chased down by number 24. A big hack and a finish. And now we might see a penalty shot, folks. Kovarik Still behind the net, slow to get up. Fanenstein's helping him out as the extracurriculars are sorted out in the far corner by the officials. We'll at least see a penalty here. Maybe a penalty shot for the Cyclones. Surprised Kovaric's stick did not break at the lumberjack swing by number 4 for the Panthers on the back check. Number 4 has been assessed a 5-minute major. That's been put on the board. Cyclones will see a power play. .802 left here in the second period. Score's still 1-1. Shots in favor of the Panthers. It looks like they updated the shots on goal clock. It's now 20-10. And still in favor of the Panthers. The referees are still talking to the captains in the referee circle. Face-off's going to be at center ice. And it looks like we're actually going to see a penalty shot. Kovaric on the penalty shot for the Cyclones. Loden in net for the Panthers. Kovaric's got speed and he's got hands. Let's see how this shootout attempt goes for him. Penalty shot, excuse me. Kovaric with the chance to take the lead for the Cyclones. John Kovaric taking the puck at center ice down on the far wall. Stick handling. Hits the top of the circle. The slot. A quick shot. Patted aside by Loden. 1-1 still to score. And it looks like we may still see a power play for the Cyclones, the 5-minute major. So maybe they could add one once more. Kreshback on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 24. Kreshback wins it back to Nelson. Nelson now back to Bestlin on the far wall. Back up to Nelson. Over to Pearson. At the near corner. A shot. Mad scramble. Nelson celebrated. Hence you heard a horn. Call on the ice is no goal. We'll have a redo face-off to the left of Loden. Right back on the draw once more. Against number 24 for the Panthers. Drops a puck. Panthers prevail in their own zone. Rims it around. Net. Pearson keeps it in. Now Dorfman has it in his feet. Has it get chipped down into the near corner. Pearson now on the near wall with the puck. Having some help from Kreshback. On the goal line. Tries reversing it to Pearson. Just a little help from Dorfman. Now Dorfman up to Pearson. Pearson over to Nelson. Nelson dropping down. Now at the goal line with it. Behind the net. Still looking to Pearson. A quick shot off the body. Panthers throw it all the way back down. Bowen plays it. And then Nelson prevails for the Cyclones. Now it's the crush back. Crush back up the far wall, takes it in on the forehand. Now behind the net, looking to Pearson on the near point. Over to Nelson once more. Nelson back to Pearson. Pearson down, the crush back in, a blocker save. Pearson once more with the shot, and it gets blocked by 77 in front, and he'll be limping around. That looked like it stung. Nelson with it now at the top of the circle. Now back to Pearson. To crush back in front, tries tipping it aside. Now Dorfman tries to going back to crush back, and Pearson holds the line. Now back to Nelson. Nelson dragging it through, and the Panthers prevail. It's a foot race. Can Pearson get there in time? Moen stands on his head. The puck comes back to Kovarik. Now to Davenport. A quick shot from Mulcairn. Couldn't find the back of the net. Now he's on the near side. Larson puts it back in. Kovarik prevails in the far corner. Up the crest over to Larson. Larson. A quick shot tipped right into the chest of Loden. 5:50 left in the second period. 1-1 the score. 2:49 left on their Cyclone power play. Mulcairn on the draw for the Cyclones. Panthers number 24. Loden taking his time to put his helmet back on. Maybe a strap has broke. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 21-15. Loden having some struggles there, it looks like, with his mask on top of the net. Looks like he's finally figured it back out. Slicks back the hair, helmet on, gloves on, picks up the stick. And he'll be turning around. Face-off coming up shortly. Mulcairn and number 24 meet once more on the face-off dot. Mulcairn wins it back. Fanenstein now with it on the near point. Walking back over to Kress. Kress back to Fanenstein. Fanenstein a quick shot. Stick high. Kovarik has it in the far corner. Tries chipping it back out to Kress. Losing that. The Panthers throwing out. We got a whistle. 5:35 left here in the second. The back referee called it, and the faceoff will be just outside the attack zone for the Cyclones. Mulcairn and number 8 now meet at this faceoff dot. Mulcairn wins one back as 16 takes the feed out from under John Kovarik. And it looks like he'll be going to the box. Powers will see a 5-on-3 power play. A lot of special teams thus far in the game. Cyclones got a 5-on-3 for the next 2 minutes. 5:34 left here in the second period. It's still tied 1-1. Patterson Ice Center. A menacing Davenport crowd of probably just over 60 people sits in front of us. Mulcairn on the draw. Panthers prevail. Behind their net, they chip it around to number 14. Getting pressured by Davenport. Now Fanenstein has it at the point. Over to Kress. Kress walks down to the top of the circle, throws it back to Kovarik. Now Kress. Kress, a fake shot. Kovarik tries sneaking one through. It doesn't go. Fanenstein collects now at the point, keeps it on side. Down to Kovarik once more. Kovarik with it. Walking at the dot, back to Kress. Kress. Kovarik. Kress. A quick shot. Stick the side right into the stomach of Loden. 5:04 left in the second. Minute 30 remaining on the 5-on-3 power play for your Cyclones. Panthers are still on the shot clock in favor. They have 21 to the Cyclones 17. First back on the draw now for the Cyclones against number 24. Creshback wins it back. Now Pearson has it at the point. Pearson, a quick shot. Gloved down by Loden. He didn't see that one till the last second when he flashed 11. Just under 5 minutes remaining now. Minute 25 remaining on the Cyclone two-man advantage power play. We'll see a Davenport change for all three players. Freshback on the draw for the Cyclones. Wins it over to Besslin on the far wall. Besslin now prevails. Going up to Nelson, over to Pearson. Pearson back across for Besslin, just out of range to pull out a slap shot, one-timer. Moen now plays it to Nelson on the near wall. Nelson now walking to Besslin. Besslin leaves it across for Pearson. Pearson now to Nelson. Back to Pearson. Pearson down to Creshbach. Creshbach back to Pearson. Nets off the mooring. Don't know how that happened. Referee's not happy about it. And I think he's going to call a penalty on the Cyclones. Take it back. Nobody quite knows how the net came off, but we'll have a face-off on the right of Loden. Now on the left of Loden. 56 remaining on a two-man advantage for the Cyclones. 4:30 left in the second period. Still tied 1-1. Creshback on the draw against the Panthers, number 24. Still arguing with the ref. Puck finally dropped. Pearson collects. Pearson with it at the far point. Walking down to Nelson. Nelson now with it. Leaves it for Pearson. A quick shot off of Dorfman's shin pad that looks like it would have been a great chance otherwise. Pearson now plays it to Nelson. Down to Creshback. A quick shot. Still loose. Whistle finally blows. After Dorfman was able to get a stick in there and try and jam home a rebound, he'll be pushed away by the Panther defense. 4:10 left in the second. 36 seconds remaining now on the two-man advantage for the Cyclones. Camera crew still hasn't been able to fix this auto zoom that's been locked in since the beginning of the second period. Might have to restart the stream at the end of the second here as we try and work through it. Pearson now with it at the slot. A quick shot under the pad of Loden. A couple seconds is shaved off now. 32 seconds remaining on the two-man advantage now. Face off on the right-hand side of Loden. Press back on the draw for the Cyclones. Another three-man unit change for the Panthers. And it's going to be number 24. Cyclones win it back. Pearson now with it at the center for the point. Down to Besslin. Besslin walking. Over to Nelson. Couldn't find a handle on it just in time. Dropping it back down to Creshback in the near corner. Creshback up to Nelson. Nelson now walking. Looking. A quick shot. Padded aside by Loden. Now picked up by Pearson on the far wall down to Besslin. Besslin a shot just high. And it will go all the way back down into Cyclone territory where it will be picked up by Nelson. Besslin chips it through on the near side, trying to find a streaking Creshback. Couldn't find it. Pearson keeps the line. Pearson looking. Pearson walking down over to Besslin. Besslin tries playing it up to Nelson. Nelson over to Pearson. Pearson At the top of the circle, tries ripping a shot. As it gets sticked away by the Panthers. Nelson recollect. Over to Bessler, a shot. He got a stop on that. Loaded. Wow. Flashing leather. Net comes off the mooring. We'll have a stoppage of play at 3:03 remaining in the second period. Still 1-1. Cyclones will have the puck drop here, and their two-man advantage will now be a one-man advantage. However, Davenport's third man in the box may change that. Not sure how that ruling works out. We'll have to get that all squared away. But it looks like we'll have Mulcairn on the draw for the cycle. And number 6 or 8 for the Panthers. Time clock calling over the referees to figure out their 3-4-man situation in the penalty box. One referee talking to players, the other talking to a single player down at the opposite end of the ice. One Panther comes out of the box. Not sure how that works. But the face-off is left of loaded. Mulcairn on the draw. Panthers win it back. And it's now a 5-on-4 for the Panthers, but there's still 2 penalties remaining on the board. Too many men is what the Cyclones are calling for. Could have called that situation was going to happen as one man left the box for another penalty to start. So we will see a 2-man advantage here is what it sounds like once more for the Cyclones. 2:41 left in the second period. Still tied 1-1. Referees are talking to the Cyclone head coach, Coach Wang, now talking together at center ice and in the referee circle. 5 Cyclones out there for sure. The question is, should it be 3 or 4 Panthers? Referees are talking to the clock people, and they're going to try and get this situation all sorted out. Looks like a face-off will happen at center ice regardless. Mulcairn on the draw for the Cyclones. It's a long conversation the referees are having. Might need some Jeopardy music to make them move a little bit quicker. Don't worry, folks. We'll wait here with you. We're not going to go anywhere. Cyclones have tied up the shots. Panthers are still in favor by 1 shot, 21-20 now. Cyclones were being outshot by at least 8 at the end of the first. Now for them to hold the Panthers at a steady 21. We'll see what they can do here next. Mulcairn, Kovarik, Davenport, Fanenstein, and Kress out there for your Cyclones. Looks like we might get started here in under a minute, but who knows? These referees this weekend have been known to talk quite a bit and quite a long time. All right. And the face-off at center ice. Mulcairn against number 24 for the Panthers. A quick little warning. Drop the puck. Mulcairn wins it back. Collected by Kovarik. Now Kress has it. Kress. Looking up to Kovarik. Circling back with it. Kovarik. Going over center ice. On the near side. Puts it through a stick. Looks for an option. He'll turn back in the corner. He'll eat some time and try to force it long down to Mulcairn, where it will eventually be found back by Kovarik, throwing it around to Kress on the far wall, picked up at the point. Kress throwing it back down to Kovarik. Kovarik leaving it for Kress on the far wall. Back to Kovarik. Kovarik up the fantasy, tipped by the Panthers, and they're going to throw it all the way back down where Moen can play it behind the net. 25 seconds left on your Cyclone power play as Fanenstein heads up the center. Over to Davenport. Davenport now with it. Over the blue. Davenport over to Kress, just out of his reach. Kovarik was able to keep it. And a hand pass is going to be called on Davenport. It's going to go all the way back in the zone. 4 seconds remaining on the Cyclone power play. 1:38 left in the second period. It's still tied 1-1 at the Patterson Ice Center. Mulcairn on the draw. Another quick warning. Puck finally drops. Davenport with it. And they'll clear it. Played out by Moen. Leaving it across for Kress, who gets bodied up. Now the Panthers have it on the far side. Collected by number 2 at the point. A quick shot. Hit the side. Lost in the air by Kress. Now skate to stick. And he'll skate over the red. Dumping it through and dropping his man. Leaving it for Kovarik. And Kress is going to get a penalty once more this weekend. Unsure the call. Might be holding. Might be interference. Most definitely a minor. 2 minute. And it looks like holding is the call. Face off going to be to Moen's right. 1:12 remaining in the second. Shots are now tied, 21 apiece. Just over a 20 piece at McDonald's. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones against the Panthers, number 17. Pearson wins it back to Franny. Franny takes it behind his net, turns it back to Scholl, has it get chipped through by the Panthers. They'll play it up to their point. 12-77. 1 minute left to play in the period as the Panthers try and go into the near side here, and they'll reverse it back down, picked up by Schultz behind his net, played across to Franny now on the near corner. And get dumped back down in the corner, the Panthers wait. Up to 17 at the hash mark, looking across the ice, number 12, up top to 77. 39 seconds left. 17 with it at the top of the circle. Looking for a shot off a stick to Pearson. Pearson now with it. Up the wall to Millens. Just out of his reach, but he'll get there and probably eat a few seconds off throughout the remaining clock time here. As the Panthers now chip it up the near wall. 81 collects. Over the blue. Waiting for help. Millens bodies up. Puck left for Pearson. Pearson's going to chip this all the way down. 5 seconds remain in the period. Loden tries playing it out to 77 at neutral ice. And he's going to try going across. Period expires. Whistle blows. Tied 1-1 here at the end of the second. Kress minor penalty for holding. Still has 49 seconds left. Shots aside are 21 apiece. We'll see you back here for the third period in just a short bit. Welcome back into the Patterson Ice Center. Cyclones, Panthers tied 1-1. Shots are even, 21 apiece. Third period underway. Davenport still got a guy in the box. He might be there for a little bit longer as we start off this period, I believe. Even strength. Eaton out in the face-off for your Cyclones, number 17 for the Panthers. Loadout came in relief last night to Gutierrez and has been holding his end of the fort strongly for the Panthers. Press is still in the box. Cyclones start this period down a man for 40 seconds. Nelson takes it and he'll throw it all the way down. Where it'll be collected for number 12. And he'll drop it to 77, get it back, and throws it over to 17 just inside the line. And they'll throw it in the near corner. Besson takes it up. Kurpiewski now with it on the near wall. And the Panthers now have it at their blue. Panthers looking across. A quick shot over the net. All the way down. Where Loading can play it in the near corner. Now chased by Kurpiewski in front. Slight pressure from the Cyclones. They're going to let this penalty run out. 9. Now 6. And the Panthers head up ice. 17 over center. Now over the blue. Trying to pull in a quick shot through. Nelson puts it into the corner. At full strength are the Cyclones as the puck gets left behind in the far corner all the way out to the point for the Panthers. Now number 2 collects a quick shot. Blocked by Nelson. Another quick shot gets tipped aside to the near corner. Vandenstein plays out the puck. He gets brought down. And Nelson collects. Vestlin on the wall. Tries chipping it through. Doesn't get past number 15 at the point. But he'll chip it through to Pearson, now at the blue line. Pearson now entering the zone, holding up. Looking for some help. Loses it. Franny will have to recollect at center ice. Over to Larson. Larson now with it. Up the ice to Mulcairn. Mulcairn now over the blue line. Onside. He'll throw it into the behind the net. Loden plays it out to his defenseman. Kovarik loses it in his feet in the far corner. Now number 2. Over to 15. Now the Panthers recollect. Number 2 on the near wall. Up. Now Franny plays it. Panthers pick it up over the line. Now at the dot, number 91. Trying to look back for number 8, broken up by Franny, trying to chip it through for Kovarik, gets through. Kovarik now trying to dipsy doodle over the blue line. He does, throws it into the far corner. Mulcairn will collect behind the net. Panthers now play it in the near corner. They'll chip up and through. 81 loses his balance thanks to Kovarik's hip shack. And Kress plays it through where it can now be collected by Larson. Larson now looking up the ice. Larson on the near wall, floats one through to Jarecki. Jarecki now with it in the near corner. A quick shot across, over to Davenport. Another quick shot off the shoulder of Loaded. Now kept in by Kress. Kress in the near corner. Now far collected now by Davenport. Throws it back to Jarecki. Jarecki now with it. Behind the net. Throws it to Eaton. Eaton on the near wall. Pinches off number 8. Now back to 77. Just out of his reach. Goes to 14. Back over to 77. Up to 8. Kress is going to play this one at the blue line, dump it in at the far corner. That Jarecki loses an edge. 8 plays it to 25, and they'll hit the red and dump it in. Now into the near corner, it will be collected by Kress. Kress turning up the wall to Jarecki. Jarecki looking across, has the puck get knocked away by the skate of number 28. Kress over to Vandenstein. Vandenstein trying to go to Eaton as the Panthers collect it. Now on the near wall, number 2 has it, and he'll put it into the near corner. Goes all the way back around to the far corner for Vandenstein to collect, where he'll get some help from Davenport. Now number 12, walking the top of the circle, now at the blue line, going across to number 2. Number 2 with it. Throwing it into the near corner. Looks like Kress and Eaton will battle this one out. 82, Millens. tries putting this one through the point, but it's kept in by the Panthers. Panthers now with it, trying to walk through the dot, was number 17, but he gets showed a nice little cross check from Kress. No call on the play. Panthers recollected their blue line, number 2, going up to number 12 on the near wall. Number 12 puts one in. Number 17 gets bodied off by Kazmierczak. Kress tips one through. Millens to chase. The Panthers recollect. 94 to 77. 77 tries to slap pass over to 12 on the near wall. Doesn't get through. Picked up now by Schultz over to Nelson. Back to Schultz. Back to Nelson once more. Hits his own blue line. Now the red. He's got room and time. Nelson tries feeding one through. Doesn't get by. Now in the near corner. Puck goes. Collected by 77. Over to the near wall. A weird bounce off a stick. Millens collects at the far point. Throws one down to Pakana. Pakana throws one down into the near corner where it can now be collected by the Panthers once more. Kazmierczak works one out, and he'll be coming out of the corner just below the goal line, forced to his knees. Millen's there to help him out. Kazmierczak still with it, walking in front, trying to find Pakana, picked away by the Panthers, and they'll head up ice. Panthers over the blue line. Number 91 tries throwing a floater through, and it goes straight into Moen. That comes off the moorings. 15 minutes left to play in the third period. 23 shots in favor of the Panthers, 20 for the Cyclones. Still tied 1-1. Five minutes gone here in the third period. Cyclones, Panthers still tied at 1 apiece. Press back on the draw for the Cyclones. Pushes one through. Shot by the Panthers. Gets patted aside by Moen. Panthers still with it behind the Cyclone netminder. Crushback chips one out to the far wall. Now Crushback wheeling through. Has it get stripped away by the Panthers. It goes into the bench as it hits Millens, who is going for a change. Stoppage of play. Face off inside the zone. 14:43 left here in the third period. Hirschbach, Veslin, Dorfman, Lynch, and Schultz. Take that back. Larson out there for the Cyclones. New puck collected by the referee. Face off shortly. Hirschbach versus number 24 for the Panthers. Puck dropped. Panthers win it back to their point. 14 over the 2. Looking back to 14. 14 a quick shot from the point. Smothered by Moen. And Lynch and a Panther go down in front of the net. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Refs are going to make quick work of that. Disperse that. Lynch and number 24 will both be going to the box. We might see 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 action here. Could very well see this going to 4-on-4, which it will. Lynch and number 24 will both go to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. 14:36 left here in the third period. Tied 1 apiece. Davenport still leads his shots 25-20. But it's played behind the net now by Franny. Over to Larson. Larson now up the near wall. He's got time. Looking across. Keeps it for himself. Now on the near wall. On his backhand. Cutting on the goal line. Throws one. Beats patted aside. Picked up now by the Panthers. Now at the near wall. Number 8. Number 8 over center. Throws one into the near side as he gets hammered by Veslin and Larson. Now on the far wall. Number 17 looking to number 2 at the point. 2 looking back for a quick tip in front, and the Cyclones break it out. Freshback turning back to Larson now in his own zone, throwing it up to the near side for Veslin. Veslin now dropping down over into center ice, has the puck still on his backhand into the near corner, throws one across, nobody there. Panthers take the puck and to the near corner. Number 94 with it. Now walking into the slot of his own zone, over his own blue. Getting the red and dumping it into the near corner. Now picked up by Nelson. Another penalty upcoming to the Cyclones. Or it might be a high stick. I saw an arm go up. Nobody's skating to the box. Must have been a high stick. 13:31 left in the third period. Take it back. Pearson's going to the box. 2 minutes. It's a 4-on-3. You want to talk about special teams. You don't see this very often. Panthers have 4. Cyclones have 3 on the ice. Panthers at the top at the blue line. 2-14. Working a quick shot off the glove of Moen. Number 2 collects at the blue line. 2 looking to 14. Goes to the dot with 14. 14 rips a shot just wide, goes all the way back down. Waste a couple seconds here. 13 minutes hit on the clock remaining here in the third period. Still tied 1 apiece as number 2 takes it up the ice. Number 2 now looking to 15 on the far wall. Number 15 on his backhand throws a quick shot on Moen. Stoppage of play, face off to the left of Moen. That gets put back in place. Still tied 1 apiece. 4-on-3 is only going to last for another 23 seconds, and it will go 5-on-4 for about 1:05. Panthers win the face-off. Number 12 at the near top of the circle. Going back to 77. Over to 17. A quick shot. Headed aside by Moen into the near corner. Number 12. Now walking towards the slot. Down to 81. Sliding. Stopped by Nelson. And it will get played out by Fanenstein, who couldn't quite clear it past number 77 at the point. Now passed off to number 12. Number 12 walking. It's 5-on-4 now. 1 minute left in the Cyclone penalty kill. Davenport lays it out at neutral ice. The Panthers come over the lot. Jarecki puts it off the wall, and it will go all the way back down. Reloading can play the puck for his defenseman. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Cyclones. Number 81 stopping behind his net. And he'll walk out. Over the blue. Dishing it to number 8 at the red, walking into the Cyclone zone, putting it down for number 12 below the goal line. Stick high, getting helped out by Davenport for the Cyclones. A shot gets ripped across, misses Moen just wide, goes into the far corner, now picked up by 14 over to 91, down to 12. Now it gets picked up by number 8. A quick shot from the top of the circle. Moen didn't see it, he saved it. And Larson clears for the Cyclone. It bounces out towards neutral ice. Penalty expires for the Cyclones. 14 dumped it in the near corner. Going to get picked up by Larson as he passes it along to Schultz. Schultz now looking to Davenport. Davenport makes a quick move and puts it to Pearson. Pearson looking on his forehand, going behind the net, trying to find some time. Now in the slot at the top, rips a shot, rebound just under Mulcair's stick. Couldn't find it. Panthers clear all the way back down to Moen. Schultz going to be left to play it. Schultz to Larson, trying to tip it through to Mulcair. Mulcair gets it off the referee, but Pearson picks it up. In the near corner now. Pearson with it. Turning back towards the point. Holding it. Throwing a quick shot high on the glove side of Loden. Doesn't get through. Franny keeps the line. However, it does chip up out of play into the Panther bench. 10:43 remaining here in the third period. Cyclone Panthers 1 apiece. Panthers are leading in the shot clock department, 28-24 for the Cyclones. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones against number 23. Puck drop. Pearson went to Kress. Kress over to Franny. Franny looking to shoot. Puts one into their corner where it can be picked up by Mulcair. Mulcair walks now into the far corner. Gets hammered aside by number 16. Pearson picks it out of the pile. Finds Franny. Waiting to shoot. He does. A quick little slapper held on by Loden in the chest. 10:27 left in the third period. Crowd here is grown in front of us. Just for the third period. Fresh back on the draw for the Cyclones. 17 for the Panthers. Panthers win it back. 77 collects in the near corner, throws it all the way back to the far wall. To number 12, who chips it out into center ice for number 28 on the far wall. tries throwing one through Franny, doesn't get by, and it's played out onto the boards behind the net where Dorfman can help out on the near wall now. Panthers still within the near corner, throwing it up to the near point, number 77, takes a shot going over 16 in the far corner, goes right through him. Now 16 to 77, another quick shot, tipped aside. Now Crest with it in the near corner. A penalty upcoming to Davenport as Crest throws one ahead to Beslin. Number 77 touches up for the Panthers. Cyclones will see the power play. 9:48 remaining in the third period. Will this put the Cyclones up on top? We'll find out. 2 minutes being assessed to number 28, hooking the call. Shots in favor of the Panthers, 29 to 24. Looks like a timeout has been called, or the referee's just getting over to talk to the benches. Nope. Iowa State called a timeout here. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Coming into this weekend, Davenport was 16-10-0. Cyclones were 7-6-8. After last night, the Panthers are now 16-11-0. The Cyclones are now 8-6-0. As a time expires, Cyclones are starting to work their way over to the left-hand side of Loden. They'll see the power play. Beslin, Tressback, Dorfman, Nelson, and Pearson out there on the power play right now. Tressback versus number 24 on the draw. We've seen this multiple times tonight. Tressback wins it back to Nelson, gets pressured by the Panthers, and gonna go all the way back down. But the Cyclones reconvene. Now Pearson has the puck. Over center ice, passing it along to Tressback, now over the blue. Looking across in the center of the ice. Gets taken down. Panthers clear. Mullen's going to play it out to Nelson. Nelson now behind his net, waiting. Minute 30 remaining on the power play. Nelson now with it. Nelson over the blue, passing it up to Tressback, over the blue line. Dropping it back for Nelson. Nelson looking across to Pearson. Puts a handle on it, a quick shot. Tipped on, and it misses Beslin's stick once more. Panthers clear. Nelson's going to collect with the guy chasing him quickly. Up the ice to Creshback. Now Dorfman over the line, waiting with it. Trying to go back to Creshback. The Panthers take it once more. They'll throw it down. Minute left on the power play. Nelson now takes it once more behind his net. 8:45 remaining in the third period. It's tied one apiece. Cyclones, Panthers. Nelson walking out of in front of his net, passing it along to Kovarik on the near wall, making a move on his backhand, now dishing it in front, diving, blocked by the Panther defenseman, now in the near corner. The Panthers trying clear. Kress now with it. Get on the near wall over to Fanenstein, and the Panthers tip it out. Kress up to Kovarik, gets slashed, no call on the play. Davenport plays it back to Fanenstein. Fanenstein looking across, and he'll find Kress, and it almost gets picked off by Davenport once more. Davenport will clear behind the net for Fanenstein to collect on the far corner. 8 minutes remaining in the third, 10 seconds remaining on the Cyclone power play. Fanenstein dropping it back for Kovarik. Kovarik over center ice. Over the blue, on his forehand. Posting up in the corner, trying to walk the goal line. Going back up top for Mulcairn over the Kress. Kress trying to find Kovarik once more, and a quick shot from Mulcairn goes high and wide. Kress now holding it in the near corner, gets pressured now by the Panthers, and the puck comes out to Fanenstein at neutral ice. Fanenstein now turning back with it. Backhand pass over to Davenport on the near wall. Davenport looking across to Kovarik, couldn't get there in time, and 15 collects for the Panthers. 15. Now looking across for number 2, but it ends up going right back to himself off the wall, and he'll chip it into the Cyclone zone where it can be collected by Fanenstein, who throws it back to Kress, now collected back by Fanenstein once more. Trying to throw it to Kovarik, bounces over his stick, and number 77 will collect behind his own net. 17 now up to the near wall, and it goes all the way down. Larson touches up for icing. 16:58 remaining in the third period, tied one apiece. Face-off's going to be on the left-hand side of Loden. Eaton on the draw for the Cyclones, number 17 for the Panthers. Eaton almost wins the draw, but the Panthers push through. Number 91 on the far wing, going down, throwing a shot across. Pad save, almost covered by Moen, but it gets cleared out by Larson to the far wall. Another quick shot off of Larson's leg. Moen covers. A good chance for the Panthers there. Couldn't connect. 6:41 remaining in the third. Shots still remain in favor of the Panthers, 30-22. First back on the draw for the Cyclones against number 17 for the Panthers. Puck drops, Panthers win, back up to the point for number 16. 16 trying to rip a shot through, gets off a skate, up and out of play. Now it's 6:35 remaining in the third period, still tied 1 apiece. Fresh back, 17 on the draw once more, to the left of Moen. Gets thrown to the boards, collected by Veslin now. Looking across to Dorfman, gets chipped ahead, now Creshback, now Dorfman. Dorfman looking back at Creshback, gets chipped out by the Panthers, now collected by Nelson on the near wall. So tries throwing one up, gets picked off by number 17 for the Panthers. Now Dorfman's turning up ice to Creshback. Creshback now to Veslin, it's a one-on-one. Veslin going to the far side, rips a shot, stick high and wide by the Panther defense. 6:10 remaining in the third, still tied 1 apiece. Haven't seen too many blocker saves tonight. Everybody's been going on the glove side or low pads. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones against number 23 for the Panthers. Pearson wins one back to Schultz. Schultz now down in the far corner looking for Mulcairn. Couldn't get there. Kovarik on the near wall pulls up off the top of the circle, pulls a shot just wide. Schultz puts one right back in deep. Panthers collect behind the net. But Mulcairn digs one through, comes back out to Schultz at the point, looks across to Nelson. Nelson looking for a quick shot off his body, and Pearson with another quick backhand shot, glove by Loden. 5:46 remain now in the third period. Stats still in favor of the Panthers, 30-26. Face off to the left-hand side of Loden. Pearson on the draw against number 24 now. Number 24 wins it back for number 2 in the near corner. Number 2 playing it up to the far wall on number 8. Number 8 gets met by Pearson. Pearson now battling it through, pulls out with Mulcairn. Passing across to Franny just off the glove of Loden. Panthers play it out. Larson collects it at neutral ice, throws it into the near corner, and number 2 collects behind the net. Posting up, going up to the near wall to number 51. Now, Franny throws one in, and number 2 collects at his near dot and throws it all the way back down. No icing to call, collected now by Larson. Larson trying to go up, but a bouncing puck doesn't get there. Collected by the Panthers, throws it back in deep. Now Franny down, Larson up to Kovarik, bounces over his stick. Panthers collect. Now they're going to throw it back into the near corner. Collected now by Franny. Franny looking up the ice. He'll skate with it. Now throwing a pass to Mulcairn, gets tipped out of play by the stick of Mulcairn. Face off in the neutral zone, just outside of the attack zone for the Cyclones. 4:46 remaining here in the third period. It's still tied 1 apiece. Millen's on the draw for the Cyclones, wins it through, directly on the near wall, battling through. Millen picks it out, puts it in the near corner, collected now by number 15 for the Panthers. Over to 77. He'll play it behind his net to number 16. Number 16 rims it all the way back to the far side, where it can be collected by Fanenstein. Fanenstein throws one into the near corner, where now Jarecki and Millens can try and work one through, but they'll chip it through past Kress. Fanenstein will have to chase now behind his own net to collect the puck, and up to the far wall to Davenport. Davenport trying to find Jarecki, gets left behind. Millens picks it up now on the near wall. Number 77 tries keeping it in. And now the Panthers break out the other way. 81 on the far wall, throwing a pass through almost taking out Moen was number 8 in Tress. A quick shot by the Panthers off the shin of Davenport into the far corner. The Panthers work one through. Quick shot high and wide of Mullen. Number 81 throwing it back behind the net for his partner, but couldn't get there. The Cyclones reconvene. Now the Panthers at the top of the point. Oh, weird tip. They score! 2-1 Panthers. 3-4 left in the third period. Panthers on top. An unfortunate bounce for the Cyclones. Fresh back on the draw against number 17. Panthers win through, and will get there to collect the puck in the near corner, rims it around to Besslin on the far wall. Besslin throwing it up the far wall, gets picked off by the Panthers. Number 17 throws one in, gets tipped wide behind the net. Nelson now in the near corner to collect. Nelson throws one up through center ice, now collected by the Panthers. They'll throw one back in deep. And now Besslin clears out once more. Panthers recollect, but turned over to Schultz. Schultz looking for somebody in front, can't pull the trigger in time. Puck walks to the near corner, and now Besslin with a quick shot from Nelson, covered, sprawling save by Loden, as there were 3 Cyclones ready to bang home that rebound if it was loose. Stop of play at 3:04 now in the third period. Panthers just put one in about 40 seconds ago. It now makes this game 2-1 in favor of the Panthers. Karen on the draw for the Cyclones. Take that back, now Pearson. Pearson against number 8 for the Panthers. Panthers win it. 77 in the near corner, rims it up the wall to number 8, kept in by Nelson. Still kept into the zone by Pearson. Trying to chip it through at 77 and 8. Now gets out to number 23. Nelson now plays it along to Kovarik. And they'll put it in deep. 77 collects behind his net. Vandenstein looking to the slot for Pearson. A quick shot, patted aside. Another quick shot from Kovarik, and it's still covered by Loden. Cyclones are trying to put everything on net in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Those 4 shots. Loden's been staying on his head the entire game for the Panthers. But he's been pretty good thus far. Pearson on the draw for the Cyclones. Panthers don't seem to like the no offsides call prior to the 4 shots on net by the Cyclones. Pearson on the draw against number 24. Pearson wins it back to Vandenstein. Vandenstein plays it down into the far corner, picked off by the Panthers. Panthers clear to the near side for Nelson to pick up in the near corner. Nelson with it. Waiting for pressure, goes up to Mulcairn on the near wall. Mulcairn now over center ice. Turning back with it, finding Nelson on the near wall. Nelson now with it. Going around on the near side. Pearson now with it. Loses it in a drop stick. Going back to Vandenstein, who couldn't put a handle on the puck, and it's over the zone. Vandenstein over to Nelson. Nelson now with it on the near wall. Trying to put it to Pearson, couldn't get it by, and Panthers collect. They'll throw it up the far wall, now collected by Vandenstein, who's trying to go to Mulcairn, has it picked off. Nelson now with it. Nelson on the near wall, waiting for help. Back to Mulcairn, back to Nelson. Nelson over to Creshback, loses an edge, takes out a Panther, and number 51 will head up ice, and Franny will collect in the near corner. Franny now looking up to number 8, and Creshback, looking to the far wall, over for a change for Besslin, drops it to himself, plays it back to Larson. Larson, it's a foot race, now over to Franny. Franny up to the near wall, now Dorfman, now Besslin. Besslin puts it in, chases it down, and the Panthers come out on top. Panthers on the near wall, chip it through. Glove down by Larson, gets hammered in against the wall. Davenport plays it back to Franny. Franny now getting the red line, throwing it across to The crush back, now to Besson. Besson, a quick shot off the glove of Loden. Crush back with it now, holding it in the near corner. Last minute to play in the third period. Dorfman now with it, walking the goal line, loses it to the Panthers. 77 goes to rim it around the board. Kept in by Larson, chipped down to Dorfman, left for Besson. Besson now with it in the far corner. Turning back up the ice now for Davenport. Besson and Dorfman lose it. Dorfman throws it up to the point, a quick shot. Blocked down in front, diving save by Loden. A quick shot from Franny, glove. A quick shot from Besson into the near corner. Davenport clears. 26 seconds remaining in the third period. Old netminder for the Cyclones. Dorfman now trying to find Besson at center ice. Now Dorfman still with it. Over to Davenport. Davenport enters the line. Goes back to crush back on the near wall. A quick slap shot just wide. Now Davenport a quick slap shot. Trying to feed it in front. Doesn't go. 6, 5, 4. Davenport's going to hold it on the near wall as time expires here in the third. Davenport wins this one on Saturday by a score of 2-1. Cyclones won last night, 7-2. The handshake line prevails. A well thought out weekend by the Cyclones and the Panthers. 9 goals scored yesterday, 3 today between both teams. Folks, that concludes the weekend for the Cyclones. Davenport salutes their fans, and the Cyclones leave the ice. Top shots on goal for the entire game was 31 apiece. Davenport got the best of it, winning this one 2-1. And we'll see you all next time.